Hello, I am Bentham and welcome back to Factorio. So, we're in the late game now and we're busy researching productivity modules level 3. And the first thing I'm going to do is something that I realized at the end of last episode needed doing. I need to sort out the oil production. So at the moment, we doubled the rate of oil. We added a new refinery basically, so suddenly we need to be doing a lot more oil drilling to keep up with all the oil that we're turning into its various products. And also having a look at the products, we actually have a very small amount of heavy oil and a very large amount of petroleum gas, so I had to switch some machines off for that. Also, I stick some level 2 effectivity modules into the refinery so that they have 80% of their electricity use and pollution reduced, because 80% is the upper limit, and at the moment, if I only put 2 level 1s in, then we only get 60% of the pollution removed. So it's time to upgrade our circuit production, because it's not quite enough to keep up with all of the modules and also the processing units. So I'm now in the process of upgrading it so that we have 5 assemblers producing copper wire and 4 assemblers producing the circuits, the basic electronic circuits. So I turned one of the electronic circuit ones into copper wire, and I also mess about with the conveyor belts because we need things to be as efficient as possible with the conveyor belts because of how fast everything has to travel. Like, it's so fast that even the blue belts have problems keeping up with it. I actually have one facing the wrong way there while I'm sorting out all this circuit stuff. And it looks like there's no point in having a level 3 assembler working on circuits because the actual inserter arms can't keep up with things. Anyway, I noticed that we do have it's a little bit of a problem getting there to be enough copper wire so that the advanced circuits can be made. But anyway, I try my best and upgrade all the belts to see if that helps all the way along as well. I decided to do a lot of belt upgrading all over the system just to speed things up generally and help with efficiency and all sorts of things like that. And then I restock on the conveyor belts. So hopefully that should help, but at the moment you can see that the copper wire is depleting, so that's no good, but we'll have to see what we can do about that later on. Have a quick check of the modules, and then I run off and have another look at oil to see what's changed since I messed with it, and I make a couple of tweaks to which cracking plants are on. And then a check of signs to see that we have a good stock of the alien science packs, and then I wander off down towards the train and have a quick check of the flow of copper ore there and everything. And then I accidentally dump my hotbar into my inventory while trying to sort out a thing with the bar. It's I don't know when or how, but I've accidentally set it so that one of the squares in my hotbar it filters so that it can only have lights in it. And I don't know when I did this, and I forget what the button is, and I just need to go check the controls really so I can remember what the button is. So I'm just messing with different buttons to see what happens. So I add a new assembler to produce to produce advanced circuits, because that's now what we have in short supply. And then I wander off over here again, grab some ammo, and make my way past the stone thing, and then stop to check things, and then I see it switches off, and I'm wondering why. And then I realise that when I put the substation down a minute ago next to the advanced circuit production, I accidentally cut off the solar field from the rest of the factory for the second time. So I set up a more permanent connection using some of the proper whatever they're called, the big electric, what are they called? Pylons, I suppose, the big electricity pylons connecting to the main base. And then I make my way back down again, and so to hop in my car and take a nice drive into the wilderness. And there's a biter base there, so I go in and murder them all and destroy the bases. Not much of a haul, but the important thing is that we've now cleared a particular area of biters. So I'm just going to wander down here, have a quick look around at the lay of the land, and then I'm going to start building the south wall. It's finally time for that. So I'm just running along and building it as I go. And maybe wondering why I'm even bothering to build this when I barely ever get any biter attacks. But the thing is, even if the pollution doesn't reach biters, they will occasionally try and build a new base somewhere. And so it's entirely possible that they decide to build a new base in your base, just because they feel like it. And so if you have the wall, you can always be confident that nothing will get through without at least you knowing and at least being mostly killed. And so I'll be able to do whatever I want inside the confines. Also accidentally reverse into one of the turrets there and set off the damage alarm, but that's all fine. Make my way back home because I'm out of ammo to fill up all the guns with. So making my way over to the ammo assembler, grab all of it, and then start producing a bunch of guns to put the ammo in when I get back down there. Resupplying on everything generally as well. And I have a quick look at this copper coal. I keep getting confused between copper and coal for no reason. But I decided to upgrade that chest there to a steel chest and put a burner inserted there just because more coal can be moved and also more of it can be burned because we need it burned. And I do some more upgrading of the belts here, and what I've noticed is that we are not getting enough copper through on the belts, and this is not good. And you can see it's flowing in at pretty much full speed along the whole system. So the fact that it's not actually enough to supply the circuit production is very concerning, and we're gonna have to find a way to deal with that. Anyway, I upgraded the assembler that's making ammo because suddenly I need a lot of it and it's taking a million years to get anything done. So I grab 4 stacks of it and then start making my way back. That's going to be enough to fill up 16 guns. So I grab some more of the stone so I can make the walls, get 100 of those crafted. Quick check of the oil just before I go, and I make a quick tweak there just to keep all the fractions balanced as much as possible. And off back towards the station we go, straight past the station and into the car. Make my way down here just to fill up these couple of guns that I couldn't fill up last time, hop back in, drive over to the other side, then accidentally crash into the wall and explode it, setting off the destruction alarm because I'm an idiot. But then I carry on as if nothing happened, putting the guns in place, and then adding more of the wall, keeping an eye on the map to make sure I don't overshoot where I plan to go, and then building a couple more turrets along here, taking note of the number to make sure that I have the exact amount that I can put ammo in, so I'm not putting any random empty turrets around that might be preyed upon by the aliens. And then I build myself another car because, you know, I can just do that in the middle of the wilderness with an inventory full of iron and engines and things. Quick repair job there, and then I make my way back to the base. And you can see as we ran past there that we don't have enough copper ore coming in. And now if you can look on the main line, you can see that there's not enough copper flowing along it. So now we're definitely going to have some sort of copper problem. So I grab some more stone walls and start crafting some more, stone bricks, and then craft some more stone walls. The only thing is that it's going to take ages to get some more ammo, so we're going to have to work on something else in the meantime. So we've got a couple of the coal miners run out, and then I have a quick check of the system and everything's all fine there. So then I make my way back over, and I notice that we're running out of science packs, but in a moment the science is going to be finally done. So I don't bother replenishing it quite yet, and I just run around waiting for it to get finished. Resupply myself a bit with everything. And there it is. So we now have the productivity module level 3 things. So I run straight over to the module production and start hooking up the rest of this system. So I've got the productivity module level 3 assembly machine ready and set up. Hook all of that up to the power grid and stick some effectivity modules in, of course, and then I put in 10 alien artifacts, and that should mean that we produce 10 of this new level of module. The only thing is it's going to take a million years, so I wander off, get in my other car, and make my way over to the outpost to see how everything's going there. So you can see we've got one mining drill run out there, and that's it. So I put this other one in, and then there's another one run over there actually as well. So I get rid of that one, have a quick look at the belt, and decide to make one more mining drill here. Now this is getting mined through very slowly. It's quite surprising really, because if we wander over here to the copper mine, you can see that one's run out, and then all of these have all run out at the same time, and there's just this one left with like 100 left to mine. So while I wait for that to happen, I start deconstructing the entire outpost, which makes an interesting noise. And with the 4x speed, it sort of looks like I'm just jumping sideways. But anyway, I'm just going around and destroying all this, and we can use this to make the south wall, and we'll also be able to use the guns and all the ammo in them as well. So it's actually been quite good timing for the outpost to be used up. It's still going a little bit longer, so I decided to run off and check on the other outpost. I accidentally run over a power pole. I'm not doing very well with cars today. That's the third thing I've hit in this episode. So there's a bit of iron ore mined here, so I get rid of all that stuff there, and that all looks fine. So I'll make my way down here, quick check of the point where it all combines, and then I make my way back over to the miner, and it's got just a dozen bits of ore left to mine, so I'll wait a second for it to finish. And there it goes. So we start deconstructing all of the other stuff, the conveyors and the electric poles, and I park my car on the conveyor belt and then start deconstructing the conveyors as I run along it. And it's quite a cool feature that they have, where cars will just slide along on the belts. Really convenient. You can have them delivered around and things. But anyway, it bumps up against a tree, and I finish it what I was doing anyway, hop back in, get home, repair it, and make my way over to the furnaces. And you can see they're not all going because we don't have enough ore anymore now that we're relying entirely on what's delivered by train from the other outpost. So I go and have a look at the module thing again, and you can see we've still got a big problem because it's all because of the copper supply. That's the thing. It looks like we're back to the old ways of having copper problems, though this time we have no iron problems because of course the science has halted entirely. And so there's barely any need for iron. It's only a small requirement in circuits. So I try upgrading the speed of the unloading, but I know that's not going to be enough, so I hop in the train, make my way over to the outpost. And you can see when I had a quick glance there into the carriage, you could see that it was still more than half full after being emptied at the other end. And that has an important meaning for us, because what we can do is increase the rate at which the copper is being transported by this train. So you can see I'm building a new loading bay on the other side of the track, and then I'm hooking that up to the main line of copper, and then I can split it there. So what will now happen is we'll be able to load the train at double speed, which is quite important. And then I go over to the mines, and I can see that there's so much being mined that it's having some trouble flowing along the conveyor belt. So after I keep making tweaks and then checking to see if it's flowing faster, and it's not, so I make another tweak and it's still not. So in the end I just go crazy, and well, crazy in a very small sense. I upgrade all of the belts along that particular area there, and that allows it to all flow quickly enough. So I hop back in the train that's now being loaded at double speed, make my way back over to the main base, and I start building the new unloading bay as well. So we hook all that up, get the chests going and all the inserters, and then get the belts, all blue belts. We want everything to be going as fast as it possibly can. Start making the underground belts. Unfortunately I've run out of cogs, as I seem to do every 5 minutes in this. But it gets done and I can hook everything up. So now we're getting double the rate we were getting before, and you can see it immediately starts building up here. But of course that could just be, well, what we may need to do is upgrade the actual number of mines that we have. And so that's something to do in next episode. Make sure that we're actually mining enough so that we can sustain the increased flow of copper ore. And also we still have a problem of the fact that it's not getting to the actual circuit production. It's not flowing along the conveyor belts quick enough, even though they're pretty much as fast as they can possibly be. So that's a definite thing that we're going to have to fix in the next episode. Anyway, we've got a bit of the module stuff done, but not quite enough, so I decide to actually put in the stuff needed rather than wait for it to flow down. So hopefully that will be done shortly after the start of next episode, and we'll be able to get the science going again, and we'll be able to research some really cool stuff like a new power suit or whatever. So we have another quick check of the oil, and everything's fairly normal there. everything's still slightly under speed there and everything. So I run over to the coal supply because it's pretty much time to end, and then we go over here. So I shall say goodbye, thank you for watching, and I shall see you next time.